Go ahead and state your name for the recording.
Zoe Zaleski.
All right, Zoe, and tell me just a little bit about yourself personally.
Personally, I'm an artist. I'm a vegan. I really love baking. Um, I've started getting to like savory baking versus sweet baking. Um, I can't do it anymore. But I used to really love urban exploring and seeing how humanity kind of left its past and how buildings tend to erode and what it the trail of you know is left behind.
Okay. And then, so I'm just gonna go straight to this question. Why are you interested in joining dispatch rather than DOC or EMS?
DOC intimidates me. Frankly, I don't think that's a job that I could ever do. Just because I don't believe that I would be able to have the less. I don't know if it's true or not, but just from what I've seen, the less emotional rapport than I have to be able to keep quote unquote prisoners in line. And as far as EMS is concerned, I don't know. I never thought about it. But
Okay.
my role model, my mom, quote unquote, recommended me to start at dispatch, so that's where I am.
Who's that?
Anita May.
Oh, okay. Do you have any radio experience when it comes to PD Tow?
We don't use radios in PDTO. I have radio experience when it comes to non-legal activities for coordinating and things like that, but it's never with 10 codes or anything like that. It's just plain speech.
Wait, non-legal activities? What do you mean?
I'm a former felon.
Okay.
If you look at my profile, I have no record or anything like that. And it's been like that for a while. But like for the most part,
Before, okay.
yeah. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the experience was rough, but that's the radio experience I have is coordinating activities and in the middle of activities and after activities.
I got an expungement too. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Do you have any goals within the dispatch department, whether that be training other people or just, dispatching a lot?
I'm really liking FTOing for PDTO. I don't know if it's something I'd be able to do in dispatch. Dispatch is very much out of my comfort zone, which is one of the reasons why I'm taking the recommendation. Honestly, I trust people above me. If they're like Zoe, you could definitely teach people, then I'll go that route. I'm comfortable in whatever anyone says I'm comfortable in. If that makes sense.
Okay.
If my managers are confident that I could do something, then I'll do it.
What do you think the responsibilities of a dispatcher are? Seeing us outside, you've seen us talk to people, do things. What do you think we do on a day-to-day?
It's coordinating to make sure that officers don't need any backup or additionals on scene. It's ensuring that officers and EMS are coordinated when it comes to any scene, chaotic or not. I was talking to Aurelia about it. I don't know what it looks like, but dispatch cards, quote unquote, ensuring that a specific active scene, violent or not, has very clear lines of communication for who's on the scene. Basically, you're the intermediary. You're literally like the operator, ensuring that people are communicated to.
Okay, perfect. And then what shift are you going to be around?
Late shift 1, all of shift 2.
Okay. If you're hired as a dispatcher, are you going to be dispatching for an extended period? This question is usually for the most part. I know that you want to be a police officer, yeah?
Yeah, I had my PBSO interview yesterday.
Okay. So that's probably going to be like 2, 3, 4 months maybe.
Oh.
That's usually what happens is they'll say, okay, I just want them to get radio training, and then they'll come in, they'll do 2, 3 months of dispatch, and then they'll go be a police officer.
I don't apply for jobs I don't plan on keeping unless I get fired. So it may be a thing where my activity is lower because I have
yeah. But it's like
the thing is, like, being active on the field as an officer is far different than being a casual member of PDTO and then an active dispatcher. So with me, if I'm overwhelmed with something, I can easily go 42 and then go 41 on my dispatch or go do PDTO and still be helping my coworker in a different capacity.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, don't tell anyone I told you, but most of the best police officers were dispatches.
Yeah, that's what my mom said.
How many hours do you feel like a week, and how many days a week do you think that you would be working as a dispatcher?
That's
Say you got hired and were done with training.
okay.
So you're just on your own. You can go on duty whenever you want.
Probably like 25 to 60 hours.
Okay, so it could range. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
that's
just,
how mine is.
I'm a DGen, so it all depends on like certain.
Where, yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Early shift, late shift, you're going to be around most of the time during NA, so we know that. All right, situational questions. This is for me to think about your awareness, your common sense, the things that make you run. A civilian comes in to report a crime, but EMS have requested you to, you know, they're asking for you, like on radio. They're saying, "Hey, dispatch, are you available?" An officer is behind you, and they're asking you to run an errand for them. This errand is not particularly like crazy. It's go get food. Can you go get food for me? I'm busy. And then, obviously you have that civilian. Just as a reminder, you have that civilian in the front. So you have civilian, EMS, and police. What are you gonna do and why?
What was the EMS one?
So the EMS is just requested, like they're just saying, "Hey, dispatch, are you around?" They're saying dispatch from EMS. So AKA they're just asking you. So you don't know what they're gonna ask you.
I probably already have food on me, so I'm just gonna give the officer the food I have on me, unless they have like a dietary requirement. All my food that I usually pack with me is vegetarian or vegan, so I have that. If I don't have it, I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, man, give me a minute," and then I'll tell the civilian to give me a minute, and then I'll coordinate with the EMS for whatever they need. And if it's gonna be a long time, then I'll let them know. I'll let the civilian know. I'll give them my number and to ask them to call me in 10 minutes and take the report then.
Cool. Now, what if? Okay, now another question. So, this time it's the same scenario, but the officer isn't hungry. There's an officer calling you on radio saying, "Hey, I need you to give me tracker updates for the Super X Class car that's $10 million."
What do SOPs say is the priority? Is it EMS or PD for response and dispatch?
Well, the SOPs say something, and it doesn't matter about what they say per se. Currently, I'm not going to worry about that. I just want to think about what so you have $10 million on the street that's running around that you can track for the police. They can't track it. Only you can, because they're driving. They can't look at two things at once. And then you have EMS calling you probably about someone that's dying.
Well, I know that my reason for the question is I know 14 alphas take precedent over 13.
Yes,
alphas,
yeah.
So that was my curiosity in that point. It would be the tracker, zero question.
Okay, yeah. EMS is no emergency.
Yeah. No, it'd be the tracker, no question. Let the civilian know that it's going to be a little bit. Take their number, I would ask them to leave a business card, and then I'd be obviously tracking, so I don't know how I would be able to respond to EMS on that point, because I feel like at that point my focus is entirely on the tracker.
Good. Yeah, there's only one of us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes you got to make those decisions. Obviously we train you into figuring out what is going to be the correct response. Sometimes you're going to get thrown in a loop and there's going to be Russian fighter jets shooting MRPD and you're not going to know what the fuck to do, but you're going to do it because you got common sense. That's not from experience, I swear. Okay, next question is you find a note on the steps of MRPD because you're going outside to hang out with PDTO and chill. There's a knife attached to the note, and there's a weird powder on the knife that you can physically see. So it's either white or blue or whatever. What are you doing in this situation?
Do I have the authority to secure the area to make sure no one can come near it while I call for officers to investigate?
You can encourage people not to come around and say, "Hey, could you, we'll go talk in another spot," but you don't have the authority to say, "Get the fuck out of here." You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I would advise officers of extremely suspicious thing that is on MRPD property and just try to prevent people from coming in a very charismatic but non-authoritative way.
Easy enough. Okay.
I mean, like
That's exactly what I would do.
Can I get an example of you being charismatic but not authoritarian?
Yeah. Wait, I'm gonna interact with you. Ready? Especially because I'm a bitch. Remember?
Yeah.
All right. So the knife is on the projector. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a random person. I just parked my car. I'm coming in. Hey. Oh.
What's up?
Oh. Nothing. Let me back up a little bit. Is that what is that over there?
What is what?
That thing on the table right there.
Oh yeah, fucking Billy left it. It's a hilarious joke. I've got to call somebody to come pick it up.
Oh, did you like? Can I see it? Or what if I like?
Do, it's gonna mess it up. The sun's pretty bright. You mind if we like move over there real quick? I have a skin condition.
Oh yeah. Wait, where? Over here?
On my face, like.
No, not on your face. Oh, okay.
Just like way over here, away from the evidence.
Oh yeah. Oh, evidence. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. That's good. I feel like any civilian would interact with you that way. Think Winsong, think Happy. But if it was someone that wanted the knife, they're just gonna go for the knife no matter what.
There's nothing I can do if they're gonna charge me and tackle me and try to get the knife, except for report it to officers. And at that point, they're trying to beat the shit out of me. So.
Yeah, you just get the fuck out of the area. Exactly.
Yeah, I feel bad because it's like that probably could be evidence that would be for a crime, but also it's either my life or that knife. So I don't mean to look crime, but like it'd be the way it be.
I totally understand. That's exactly what I would do. Gables, that suit your needs? I didn't know if I was acting as a civilian or as a as like a bitch.
Questionable acting skills from Jeanette. Other than that, it's great.
I didn't know if it was if I was just being a normal civilian like person, or if it was my knife and I wanted it back.
Solid performance all around.
Thank you.
Okay, all these alerts are coming in at once. You know some of them. I'm gonna just tell you them and what they mean. Okay. 13 Alpha, officer down, emergency. 14 Alpha, medic down, emergency. 911 call came in from the doctors that the hospital is being shot up currently. And there's also a Legion Square Flicka bank. Someone's in the bank with a hostage. Who do you send where first?
Well, Flicka's last.
Okay.
Because with the officer down, medic down in the hospital, those are gonna take precedent. Without knowing the SOPs, I would do 14 Alpha Hospital, 13 Alpha Bank.
Okay, medic, hospital, officer, bank.
Yep. Yeah, just from my personal experience, usually.
What you think? Okay, and you're gonna stick with that. You're gonna stick with that. That is 100% locked in.
Yes.
Okay, nice. Okay. So it flips. You're gonna be hospital medic, then officer, then bank. Okay. The only reason that is because, the hospital is supposed to be the safe haven almost, right? Okay. Medics know that when they go out away from the hospital or away from the government facility, it's like MRPD. MRPD is a very safe place. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
But yes, officers sign up to. They understand that they are probably going to get shot every now and then. Or every now.
Every now.
And medics obviously know that they could get shot, but they most likely won't. And then hospitals, are supposed to be very safe.
Oh, because there's innocent patients.
Yes, yeah. You got someone that's laying in there in the ICU probably that could be getting shot at too. And without the doctors are a very main priority. They're kind of in the hospital, and that's where they work, Whereas the medic has a vehicle to get away from things, stuff like that.
Got it.
It's just, that's how it goes. Okay. This is a good one. This is a good one because you have FTO experience with PD Tow. And I know that you were talking to Luis about situations that you didn't really know how you could work around them. And I'm kind of excited to see your answer for this. Okay. So you are 1041. You notice a dispatcher goofing around, and there's a lot of big calls being missed. What do you do?
Am I a supervisor or am I equal?
You're equal. They're just your your coworker?
I'm gonna encourage him, be like, hey man, like we're really busy. Can we, can I get some help? Like,
Okay.
I know you're kind of messing around. I get it. Can we clear this up and then we can mess around?
All right, perfect. And then so they say, yeah, sure, and they help you for a little bit, but then they start to go haywire. Later that day, you notice the same person, same one, talking to an officer saying, hey, I don't know if I want to join LSPD, PBSO, SDSO. All of them are awesome. They're just talking about where they're going to join to be an officer. Again, more priority alerts are missed. You need help. What are you going to do now?
If it's actively where they're priority missing, I'll go over and say there's a thing on like channel 1, 2, 3, channel 1, 3, 5, whatever. I'll be like, can you handle that, please? I'm handling this over here. Once everything clears up, I'm just gonna go to whatever my boss is and tell him the situation. Because I'm not gonna I know the officer's there and it's like a thing that I could do. I'm not gonna do that. It's not chain of command. It's not like what am I gonna do?
Good. So you'd come to someone like me or Gable and
Yeah.
say, hey, I was
No,
working with this
Gable,
person.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Let's see another. I think that was the final scenario question. Yeah, that is the final scenario question. I know they asked you a lot about Pokemon and having sex with Pokemon in the PD interview, things like that.
Yeah.
What was something that you liked and disliked about the PD interview?
My interview with PBSO overall?
Yes, yeah, just your interview with the police. Yeah, with PBSO.
I made a kind of stupid mistake the day before, and I brought it up to Louise, and she investigated, and it was just like, you both are at fault. Don't do it again, kind of thing. And I felt like that was being held against me, even though I have a track record of being, pretty good and having a good rapport. I may be misreading the situation, but I really wish that my track record spoke for itself versus the one mistake that I had. But overall, it was I'm not trying to kiss ass or anything, but it was a really good interview. Like I had a lot of fun, even though I got hit by a car 17 times and had 11 taser prongs in my back, and I split my back open from swimming, and then Velson kicked my ass 3 times in a row. But you know, I got to meet and bond with people.
That's nice. I didn't know you guys did all that. Holy cow.
Yeah, we did the verbal interview, and then we did a PT exercise.
Okay.
And that was the most of the interview. And so it was nice to be able to, because I'm not really running away from people anymore now, so I try to keep my fitness up as much as I can. So it was nice to be able to go with other people who try to keep their fitness up, and then go around and do activities like climbing a mountain that I don't normally fucking do.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's good. Good to hear. What was our? Oh, what's your favorite ice cream? That's a question.
I don't eat ice cream. It's an animal.
Oh
product.
shoot, you're right. It has milk in it.
I do.
Gelato?
Does gelato have milk in it? I've never had.
No, I think it's
gelato.
just flavored ice, really.
Oh well.
It's
I
Italian.
mean, if we're talking snow cones, I like citrusy snow cones, and I like blue raspberry snow cones. But I've never had gelatos always look like ice cream to me, so I've never touched it.
Okay.
But anything that's tart, that's very clearly tart when it comes to snow cones and stuff.
Alrighty. Well, Gable, you can't ask your question about the eggs.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's fine. I'll ask it, and you can just answer. How many? Let's say you're in a Mr. Beast video, and the challenge is that you can pay $2 for every egg you can eat inside a calendar year, and you're trying to get as much money as possible. What would your answer be? These are chicken eggs.
I don't know how much food is in a chicken egg.
Well, you don't really eat eggs, right?
I've never eaten eggs. No.
Wow.
Not that I remember. I've been on my diet for 13 years. If I were to guess, it should be over 1,000. So I'm gonna say the maximum amount I could eat is probably 1,900.
Okay, that's a fair answer.
4 or 5 eggs a day, because I know how egg substitute tastes, and it tastes like garbage. So I assume eggs taste like garbage.
Okay.
So I feel like it would get bland really quickly.
You walk in to do your job, and this is after, like, let's say a month. You know some people, you're friends with most police officers, you know all their names, things like that. They know who you are during your shift, especially. You walk into the changing room, and there's two officers making out, just absolutely going at it, tongue and everything. And they both have respective, like, people that they're with, right?
Okay.
And they're monogamous too.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'm gonna say nice, grab my stuff, and leave. Ain't my business.
Damn! Why does no one snitching?
Bro, like, I'm not gonna go. Like, one, I don't. If I know who their partners are, if they're cops, they're probably cops.
Yeah, they're cops. Yes.
I'm gonna cause drama about nothing. That's all on them, and they will eventually get caught by somebody. Like, if they go and cheat, my words aren't going to say nothing. That's on them. They already did that.
I guess, yeah.
Also, I'm not sticking my nose in anyone else's relationship. I don't know the details of it. It's not fair for me to assume.
I'm just thinking again of another question that Aurelie said for me to grill you, but I really don't want to grill you. I don't have any good questions that are like grill questions. Usually if there's another woman in the room, I'll be like, who's the prettiest lady here? But there's not. It's just me and Gable. So who's prettier, me or Gable?
I'm a lesbian, so you.
Gable, you hear that? You're not a pretty lady.
I mean, that's fine, you know. with what's the word? Is showing restraint to not quote that one Drake lyric. That's stupid.
I get what you're saying, I think.
I think your outfit's coordinated pretty well. I like where it goes from dark to light to dark. I mean, it might be like your normal uniform, but I think it works well.
I mean, it has my flair to it, you know. It has my rag and, you know.
Yeah, it's probably filled with sweat.
I made this helmet famous, so.
That's all that matters. I mean, do you have to pay the helmet? Do you have to pay the helmet like royalties and stuff now because you're repping it?
It's actually paid for by the hospital. It's reinforced. I have a soft skull and a history of brain injuries, one of the longest in the city. So I take good care of my skull. I wear this helmet even when I'm not riding motor.
Yeah.
Actually, like you have a. Do you
like a soft head? Yes.
Do you ever Is it okay if I ask you a couple questions about that?
Sure.
So I have a little bit of like a bone condition. Like some of my bones on my right side are far more fragile than my left. Not like evenly. It's not like split down the middle, you know. But so a lot of times, like if I were to get into fights and stuff, if someone hits me in like the right side of my chest, the right side of my head, or something, my bones tend to be more fragile. How do you accommodate that on the field, like with your skull being fragile?
Poorly.
Just the helmet, or?
Yeah, it's the helmet. It's being careful. It's so my thing came on from trauma, from blunt force trauma. I was this was about 18 months ago now. It was whenever the casino was being robbed, and I responded, and I was climbing down a ladder in an elevator shaft, and there's a guy at the bottom of it. He goes by the name of Jean Paul, and he shot me off of the ladder, and I hit my head several times and got very bad trauma. And since then, you know, dangerous field. So I've had a few near-death experiences, and you know, I've gone through all sorts of traumas with memory and speech recognition and all that stuff. So basically just trying to keep safe. I mean, I recently went on a 6-week hiatus to try and you know, get that back a little bit. I've had stem cells put into my ears. I'm trying. All right, I'm trying.
Oh yeah, no, that's just. I was just curious, you know, if it ends up going to be where I get an invitation to join the PBSO. It's like I've always been afraid of like what's going to happen if like a group of criminals realize they can fucking sock me in the right side of my head and I go fucking out. So it's like you know, what kind of accommodations do I have to do? It's, you know, I'm not going to say like, oh boy, I'm glad that you're here with all of your disabilities, but like it's a little encouraging to know that like you're like pushing the way you're pushing. And that I could probably
I mean, I would say I'm definitely you know, I would like to say I'm a voice for the head trauma crowd. You know, I'm like I was at an interview once and we were like, well, we don't really want to hire them because they have head trauma, and I just repeatedly cleared my throat like. It wouldn't be the first.
That's the difference, right? Is we have to like go out of our way to be like, yeah, you know what, we kind of fucked up a little bit physically, but we gonna be okay, you know.
Right, but I can also weaponize it, and no one can say I'm lying. Not that I ever would, but I can be like, I forgot about that because I have head trauma.
That's mean. It's kind of funny though. I don't mean like it's just anyway. Thank you
that works.
For opening up
Effective.
about that. I appreciate it.
No problem. Open book. Jeanette, I got the other 3 people that we recently hired keys officially. Their MDW profile should also be set up.
Oh shit! Okay,
soon.
I'll
in the progress.
I'll do some in training and tell them.
Onboarding
soon. TM.
Right
okay.
Dog.
If you want to step outside for me, and then we'll talk to you in just a minute. Okay.
Yeah, sure.